Thank you.
The Mari Lwyd by Stephen Gracia.
Setting: Gower, Wales, 11 p.m., Christmas Eve.
Personage: Vernon has tragically embraced everything all at once.
Gwyneth has a soft spot for tragedy.
The Mari Lwyd is a horse skeleton whose origins are a mystery, honestly.
Vernon knocks on Gwyneth's door. I have knocked upon your wooden door, and I'm prepared to knock once more. And if my knocking you resist, I'll beat upon it with my fists. I'll rant and rage and sound a roar from Great Orme to Pembroke shore. My hooves will beat a vicious din on the roof of the home you hide within. You'll find no peace this Christmas Eve, though you may hide and pray I leave. I'll stay and stomp my mighty hoof and shake the snow from off thy roof. You'll find no peace, for I will not cease, for my rhymes will grow into a shriek, and your Christmas cheer will grow awful bleak, for you see, a bitter Welshman I be, and a screaming Irish banshee ain't got nothing on me.
I'm not inside. I've been round back, enjoying the night air and sipping from my flask. Christmas is here, and my mood's turned to black, so I plan to spend the holidays sealed in a cask. Throughout the year, I wear a pleasant mask, so for Christmas, is death by Scotch too much to ask?
It is no secret that darkness comes to us all. Many hills have I climbed, and from many more did I fall. And I have learned that you cannot walk without a stumble, and you cannot ascend without the occasional tumble.
How did you fall from more hills than you climbed? Did you sacrifice logic for the sake of a rhyme?
Many hills have I climbed, many years I've persisted. When the world seemed the most unkind, by many hands I was lifted.
I prefer you left a curse at my door than platitudes and affirmations by the score. I am not moved, I am not swayed. Though I may stand reproved, I have never prayed. I have never sung, I have never danced. All my life I've been the victim of circumstance. It's chaos, you see, rolling in from the distance. So fuck off to you, and fuck off to Christmas.
Yet you join me here in this holiday tradition, exchanging rhymes with expert precision. Though you may mock and heap upon me derision, I suspect you take pleasure in this old superstition.
Traditions kept should be traditions met. This one, sincere, I once held dear. The skeleton horse in the black shroud, taken boisterously from house to house, a grim and haunting specter of death, on Christmas Eve, no less. The ancient tradition of the Mari Lwyd, how very Welsh it is to rhyme into the void. And then to be rewarded with a cup of ale or something stronger. In our hearts, the holidays are morbid. In our hearts, Christmas is a monster. As a child, I roamed and rattled and moaned from door to door, the horse skull I bore. A monstrous mask with a rictus grin to challenge all those within to a contest of rhyme, and to their chagrin, the night was mine. I always win.
So you know the rules and you know the risks, so we will spar and take the piss. But tonight in glory I will bask when you're forced to offer me your flask.
This flask is mostly bile and spit. Though 100 proof my fluid is, my piss is strong as pure moonshine. My tears are stout and could fill a stein. My blood is whiskey, best taken neat. If I were you, I'd admit defeat.
Never will I admit defeat. I've knocked on every house on this street, and everyone inside I did beat. On everyone's couch I've rested my feet, where I savored victory, both subtle and sweet, while the losers brought me scotch, heavy with peat.
So they rewarded you with fine scotch at every door. Perhaps I should visit the neighbors more.
Well, not just scotch, for tastes do vary. I enjoyed many glasses, but did not tarry. At the Joneses they poured me a full glass of wine, a Spanish red, and it was really quite fine. The Davises handed me a bottle of beer. They brewed their own, and it tasted a bit queer, but I washed that taste out with the Lewis's rum. And by then, I confess, my face felt quite numb. But all feeling was brought back by a tall glass of schnapps poured by the Lloyds, who don't know when to stop.
This sounds to me like a recipe for disaster, though for someone so drunk, you give excellent banter.
Many homes have I graced tonight, many contests won to my delight, many elbows bent to celebrate, many slips, many some stumbles, because I can't see straight. But do not yet count me out, for you see I am at my best when I've driven all my inhibitions out. When I put my addled brain to the test, I am a poet within and without. Between tongue and heart, the truth is confessed. When liquor's applied liberally throughout, I will find the words for what I've never expressed. Then I will find the road, my only way out. If only my legs will move at my behest. You know what? I'm going to need a minute to find my route before I renew my quest.
Did you just rhyme out without? I think your winning streak is in doubt.
I don't think I thought this through. I'm a bit of a lightweight. I admit it's true. I can rhyme like a poet, but can't hold my liquor. I'm a disgrace to the genre. I've never felt sicker.
Then I invite you to sit for a moment. You need to rest. You need to breathe, or else over a toilet you'll be bent, and we're not even through with Christmas Eve.
A toilet seat would make a fine wreath for someone as careless and boastful as me. My head, it spins. I feel so very dizzy. I've abandoned true rhymes for rhymes that slant. It's not pretty. Though right now, from my perspective, everything slants. It's quite a pity. And I've completely abandoned meter. Jesus Christ, the night's turned shitty.
I've traveled this road, so I know the way. You'll have a rough night and a rougher Christmas day. If you can sit tight while I pop back in, I'll brew you some coffee, even though you didn't win.
I believe that at last introductions are in order. My name is Vernon, and I have a panic disorder. I feel like I should disclose that up front, and I fucked up Christmas Eve. I have to be blunt. This endeavor is a failure, though it once held such promise, and the same could be said for my life, if I'm being honest. I've never been comfortable conversing with strangers, so I took up this tradition to help me meet the neighbors. It's easy enough for me to hide in a rhyme. The structure and cadence work every time. My poetry can dazzle, even though I'm quite dull. And I am at my most comfortable donning this horse skull.
I myself am well acquainted with the rags and bones of the heart, the things we keep hidden that stop us before we start. I smile when it's necessary. I do what I can, but I keep my eyes down when I walk up my own street. I was just a child when my shyness began. Some dark thoughts are inevitable, a fait accompli. Talking to the mask is really disturbing. Seriously, take that thing off. It's quite unnerving.
Yes, it's for the best. I was breathing in my own fumes, as ghastly an odor as I'll ever smell, a thickening haze of gloom and of doom from a burp that brought with it the very stench of hell.
I was going to mention it, but I'm too damn polite. Please, do me a good turn, even if that turn be slight.
You are very kind, though you put up defenses. Did somebody hurt you? Who gave such offenses? To make you hate Christmas is a terrible crime. To keep you at home on a night made for rhyme, on a night for wandering and caroling and joy, on a night of soft snow-colored lights and loud toys, to keep you at home with scotch and nothing more? Tell me, how did this happen? An answer, I implore.
It wasn't just one thing. It wasn't a singular event that caused sadness to settle and bitterness to ferment. It came on so slow that I almost didn't notice the way shadows creep in from the darkest of corners. They pass into our hearts as if through osmosis. What soon overwhelms often begins as murmurs, the faintest of whispers, a trick of the light that grows ever dimmer, that vanishes delight. We give ground to depression by inches each year until every room in your home is a place of despair, until you carry it with you and hold it so near that everything turns bleak and makes everything drear.
I wish I could be a comfort to you now, a story you tell in a future more bright, far from a dark past that you will disavow, of a poet whose rhymes emerged from a night that helped you conquer the darkness and string Christmas lights in the shadowy corners that once held such fright. But I have failed, and I am lost, and it's not just my body that's paying the cost.
You'll have some regrets from this night, there's no doubt. You may disavow the whole evening, but don't cast everything out. Sure, you'll feel it in your bones, your muscles and joints, your eyes and your stomach, even your hair and your groin. It's a pity how alcohol inflames all the senses, plucks up the courage and lowers the defenses, and brings you so low you can't even see up. But once we get some black coffee in your cup, I want you to remember that what got you on your feet, what sent you out rhyming into the street, was a decision to be braver than I've ever been. My name is Gwyneth, and I'd like to invite you in so that you can ruin my toilet and fall asleep on my couch. I'll bring you plenty of water and some aspirin, and I won't even try to find a rhyme for the word couch. Let's get you inside. You won your last battle. I declare you the victor, and I think it's time that you rested a bit.
I don't think I can move. I don't think I can stand. I have lead in my feet and iron in my hands.
Well, allow me to paraphrase a great poet. On this cold Christmas Eve, may his words give you some strength. May they give you relief. Many hills I have climbed, many years I've persisted. When the world seemed the most unkind, by a stranger's hand I was lifted.